Rebecca Stapely, aged 24 from Ayr, has volunteered at the Robert Burns Birthplace Museum since December 2010. Starting as a guide, Rebecca displayed an exceptional knowledge of Robert Burns. Rebecca is now on the Robert Burns Birthplace Museum internship programme, and since the start of 2012 has delivered educational workshops on Scottish history and literature to more than 1,000 children each month. Rebecca's passion for heritage and for educating others is truly inspirational.
Rebecca has made a tremendous impact on the work of the department. For a start, she has the best knowledge of Robert Burns of any of us because she has lived and breathed Burns since she was at school, since she was about 5 years old. Because she is from Ayr, she's from the local community, she's come to Burns Cottage numerous times, she's made a model of Burns Cottage when she was a child, she visited the museum in its previous incarnation and she's seen it right the way through its changes. So she knows, if there's something to know about Burns Cottage and its place in local history, she knows about it. She also brings a real kind of quiet energy, incredibly positive, very shy at first, but she relates brilliantly with the school kids because she can speak to them at their level. She communicates brilliantly with the younger kids, making them feel at home, making them feel that Burns Cottage is a really special place and they're really lucky to be able to come here. One of Rebecca's real strengths is her incredible knowledge about Robert Burns and his part in the local, the history of Ayrshire. Because she's from Ayr, she's lived and breathed Burns since she started school as a 5-year-old. If there's something to know about Burns Cottage, she knows it. She also has a degree in art history and particular interest in vernacular furniture and architecture. So she knows a lot about Burns Cottage, why it looks the way it looks, the things that are in it, why they're particular to this area. And that's an incredible resource to have, somebody with that real depth of knowledge and that real passion for communicating that knowledge to people visiting the museum. Not just the school groups, although that's a really important part of what she does, but she also gives talks to adults, and people are always entranced by this quiet enthusiasm that she has, this ability to communicate her knowledge to somebody else and make them think, hang on, this is really exciting, really interesting, and I'm really glad I know about it.
I think it's important to preserve the heritage of places like this because if you teach a younger generation about why they need to preserve old houses, old places, cultural buildings, so that we can pass on to future generations.
Rebecca is incredibly deserving of recognition because she never ever asks for it or draws attention to herself. She is incredibly reliable, knowledgeable, fun and lively person to work with. But she does everything very quietly without being asked, and sometimes you don't even realise the amazing amount of things that she's done. For example, we work a lot with costumes, and she will just take her workbox through into the costume department, sew on all the buttons, do all the repairs. She won't make a big deal about it, she'll just go and do it. And then the next time that somebody else has to work with those costumes, they're ready to go, they're in mint condition. And she's done all of that without ever being asked to do it. She also is very, very helpful with working with the other members of the team because we have a huge group of volunteers that we work with, about 40 people, and she always does it efficiently, again without being asked, without making a big deal, but it's always done really, really well, and you just always know that you can rely on her, but because she doesn't draw attention to it, it's not something that you might necessarily realise when you first meet her, but she's totally committed to it, and again this passion for sharing information is just amazing.
I think it's important for young people to get involved in projects like this because it reinforces the fact that young people can be a force for good in the community as well.
I think there are a lot of negative perceptions about young people, about what they do with their time, about their attitude towards their heritage. And I think it's really important that someone like Rebecca makes such a positive contribution towards sharing the knowledge that they have with other young people, and drawing attention to a place that's really culturally significant. You know, this is one of the most important buildings in Scotland, and to have a young person saying to other young people, yeah, this is important and this is why it's important, I think that's an incredible sort of force, a positive force, to change people's attitudes who think, oh, they don't know about it, they don't care about it. Well, they do, and they want you to care about it as well.